Hello, welcome to Living Arts. I'm your host, Jackie Suarez. Thank you for tuning in. We have a really terrific couple of guests tonight. They're from the New Era Creative Space in downtown Peekskill. I'd like to welcome Ridvan Foxhall, Susan Cody, April DeMarco. Guys, welcome to the show. I've been really excited to get to know all of you.
Thanks for
Thank you.
having us.
Thank you.
There's been a lot of buzz about your new space, so why don't we start by talking about, I guess, the Children's Theater of Peekskill, which kind of gave birth to this space. Right, you've been doing that since 2006.
The Children's Theater Company has been on since 2006, and we started out. One of the things I used to commute into the city with my son to take him to the Children's Theater Company of New York City, and it occurred to me after doing that for 2 years that
You might need something up here.
But we have a lot of talented people in Peekskill. Why do I need to commute? So I kind of collaborated with the Children's Theater in the city to bring it here as kind of like a pilot program for this area, and I felt like it was so needed. So that's how the Children's Theater came into being.
So I noticed also, and I was just reading some information about it, that I guess you're a nonprofit,
Yeah, the
and
theater.
you're based out of New York. So is that still your affiliation, or?
No, the Children's Theater Company, our parent company, is based out of New York. We are like a chapter of the Children's
gotcha.
Theater Company. So we're like I guess.
So like your fiscal
that's
agent.
Yes.
Okay.
They are a parent, and we are the chapter of the company. So we share their non-profit status.
Okay, so I've never actually seen any performances from you guys, as I've been up here in Peekskill. But where did you perform, or what?
We've performed at the Peekskill Ford Theater in the Peekskill Administration Building.
Okay.
And they have a beautiful old theater in that building, and we mostly perform there every year. And we did one performance at the Paramount Theater the first year that we opened. We did a performance there.
So how did you find that experience? I know that there's so many things you wanted to bring kind of to this program. What were some of those things?
I mean, one of the things I love about the Children's Theater Company is it uses theater as a tool for creative thinking, for analytic thinking, and for promoting in a child a sense of that they are part of the world and that they contribute to the world and they have a voice and that people do listen to them. So I love that character. I mean, our motto is building character on stage. So really, theater is a tool for that, for building character, building confidence. It's always an ensemble, which means we don't have a star, and all the shows have some kind of moral that we focus on, and it could be the equality of men and women, or unity, or prejudices that children come upon in their lives. So because the plays are really specifically chosen and written to address some of the problems that we face, it really lends to having great discussions with the kids and making them aware of and think beyond themselves and think of the community and how can they be a part of the community, and also how can they be part of the change. So that's what really drew me to this program, and so I thought it'd be a great program to have here.
So I guess we should also tell our audience that you're an occupational therapist.
Yes.
So
That's another hat I wear.
right. So I guess this would be, ideal for someone maybe that was a little socially awkward, or what type of,
Yeah, as an occupational therapist, the whole idea of promoting health and I was going to say health and well-being.
We can promote that too.
So promoting well-being and really quality of life. So I try to promote that in our children, and a lot of team building. And yes, any child who might feel socially awkward, it's a great platform for them to work that out. And we've seen that happen. We've seen kids that have come in like really quiet and not knowing how to interact with each other, and a few years later they are open and friendly and talking to each other. And the beauty about the Children's Theater, the experience we've had in the past, this is our 8th year, 7 years, is that we've had, because it's such a great program and it's such a community building program, because parents are really involved in it, we've seen kids have stayed with us for 5-6 years. They keep coming back. So we've watched the transformation over time, which is a beautiful thing.
Must be really rewarding.
Yes.
To do that.
Yes.
So now we come to the fall, I guess, of this past year, and we have the beautiful new space that you have.
Yeah.
So how long have you been working on getting that space?
Well, I've been fantasizing about it for many years. But last year, and like anything, to start something new, to start a new venture is scary. You know, where do you get the funds? How do you do it? And how do you actually go about doing it? So I've been fantasizing, like I said, about it. But last year, I just got this urge that the time was right. Because beyond the children's theater, because what would happen is we do the children's theater. It only runs from October till February. And then we find that we come to February, the kids want to be together. They want other programs. So I was actually doing programs out of my home for many years. So I'd have like youth empowerment programs that continued, you know, because we didn't have a space, or I would rent spaces in different studios here in Peekskill. So we just kept seeing a need, because these children want to sing together, they want to act together, they want to, you know, just hang out together. So finally last year, it was the fall of last year that I decided it's time. I can't do it out of my basement and backyard anymore.
Well, that was really interesting, because your campaign, I guess, was Indiegogo to kind of raise some funds for your project. So, Susan, what's your function over there in the New Era Creative Space?
Well, I've served as music director for the Children's Theater Company since we started, my role as a musician and teacher has been expanding. So we did the One World Youth Choir last spring. We used the field library because we didn't have our space yet. So now we'll be able to, again, once we do the Children's Theater Company, as Ridvan said, from October through February. And then in the spring, we'll be able to bring the choir now to the New Era Creative Space. I'm putting together a preschool music program. I had done a music program for school-age children a few years ago that I called What's That Sound, based in the discovering the elements of music and how it works, and you know how the instruments work, and just kind of having fun. And we wound up making instruments out of just common objects. We instead of a wash tub bass, we made a sherbet tub tenor, and we made a garden horn. It's the smaller version of the garden hose, with a mouthpiece out of plumbing supplies, and so we have a lot of fun with that sort of thing, and so I'm retooling that for preschoolers as a mother and child program, and I'll be doing a lot of other music programs and supporting whatever also I do whatever Ridvan tells me to.
Well, preschoolers, that's going to be pretty ambitious, so when is that supposed to start?
The preschool music program is available, and so we're just, as soon as we get kids together, we'll put it on.
Okay, awesome. So now, April, what are you doing over there?
What aren't we doing over there? It's been a great start. It's really, we've started off with a bang. In addition to teaching different art classes and putting together some different social gatherings for kids, I have to tell you that my daughter, 2 years ago, sat in the Ford Theater at the Peekskill Administration to come see a friend on the stage for the Children's Theater Company at Peekskill. And she didn't know what to expect. I had never known that there was a theater company so close in our community. And she sat there and she looked at me and she didn't know anybody from her school, her building, her neighborhood. And yet she said, I'm going to do that. And 1 year after that, last February, she stood on the stage as a part of the group, and she really manifested like this dream. And so I have to tell you that the beauty of it for her socially is that she was able to step outside the same kids that she goes to school with and plays with and joins all her sports with, and it just made her world even bigger. So I'm a great parent supporter of the New Era Creative Space and the Children's Theater Company. And knowing Ridvan through the theater company, I'm an artist, I'm a jewelry designer, and I'm a New York State certified art teacher. And when she was opening this space, I said, there's a lot that we can do, and a lot we have been doing. I'm teaching right now Cartooning 101 for kids, and I'm going to be doing adult classes in the future and some jewelry making. And the beauty for the cartooning and why it's not just called drawing is because it's really a medium to interest kids. You know, it almost doesn't matter what we're drawing, that loops them in, and then we're going to be teaching, we're teaching them, we're in the 5th week of the course, teaching them the fundamentals of drawing and engaging them in a way that allows them to relax and enjoy and focus on one thing at a time without the stressors of like traditional academic setting. You know, even for adults, we're
I was just thinking that,
planning
but I may-
workshops. Everyone tells you to
I may
slow
need something
down.
like that.
Everyone tells you to, you know, de-stress and unwind. But how? I think a lot of people are left like with the question, all right, this is great advice, you know, other than trying to pick up a meditation, you know, practice, how do I do that? And I love art in this community and in this space because it allows you the luxury of focusing on one thing at a time, and that is really a luxury anymore in our life. So,
Right, exactly. So how long have you been with Ridvan again?
a year. I think a year we've been together, and then I was really very happy to just. I can't even tell you, just to meet such an ambitious person and a kind and generous person who really every decision she makes is made in the best interest of children and expanding the community. She makes me better, you know, so I was happy why she was raising money, and before she even moved in, to think of how I can contribute and be a part of it. It makes you want to be a part and bring your gifts and talents forward.
Okay, so is everyone, I guess, that's with you now, they're all kind of just focusing on the skills that they have to teach to their, the students, or bring in a different program. So it's kind of an eclectic mix of people.
Yeah, we have different people that we're working with, and I'm actually currently collaborating with organizations and people, more artists, and to create different programs. Like Mary Crescenzo is one of our local artists here.
Yes, I know Mary.
And yeah, so she's planning. She said to say hi.
She's great.
So she's planning to do music program for older adults
Oh, cool.
during the day. So that I'm very excited about. So we're working that out, and that should be starting in 2 weeks. And she's also going to be doing a writing circle for women.
Oh, right, I know she does that blog.
Yeah, a creative writing circle for women on Tuesday nights at 6 o'clock. So I've been talking to different artists and collaborating with people. I really want it to be a center where, you know, our motto is filling an empty space with creative initiatives.
Right.
So I really want to tap into the community and tap into what we have here, and really fill it up with creative energy, you know. And
Because it definitely has all of these different programs that are coming together. So it's
Yeah.
not like you've got this kind of one set program for everyone, and everyone, you just have separate teachers. It's like they have their own thing that they're going to be doing.
Yeah, I want the teachers to come with their own set of skills and expertise, you know, and really, and I don't want to just focus, my emphasis in the past have been children, but I'm really looking at the community, looking at parents. I used to run parenting workshops, you know, for, you know, raising children with morals and good character, and that also I'd love to see it. So some of our programs are also going to be free, because I'm doing a girls leadership program that started a few weeks ago, and that is a free program to any girl in the community that just wants to come every other Friday night and hang out with us. And you know, we want to empower them to be leaders. You know,
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So how's your reception been with the rest of the community? I mean, has it been so far kind of easygoing, or?
It's been positive. It's been mostly positive. I think for some, it's like I came out of the blue.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people haven't heard about the theater. The theater, we haven't really had to advertise. We've had 7 years of really word of mouth. The first year we had 24 kids, and that was the most surprising thing, because I put this program out, and I used to do African dance at a church here in Peekskill, and so I told the parents there, and I told a few people, and we had 24 kids, and the Parks and Rec was amazing because they've been our supporters. The Peekskill Parks and Rec, they've put it in the catalog every year, so we've got people come through the Parks and Rec, and they've been really supportive, helping us with this, finding the space and using the center at the library, and also they've been great at getting us a theater space and helping us with that. So yeah, I put that out, and the first year we had 24, and every year since, we haven't really had to advertise, because what happens is most of our children come back, so we can only allow in 2 or 3 more. Which is
kind of hit capacity, right?
Which is like, we hit capacity so fast, and even when children grow out of it, they come back as volunteers. So we've been very lucky in that way. So I think because we haven't advertised, a lot of people haven't known about it. We've been this quiet secret in Peekskill. And this year, with the New Era Creative Space, because now we have a space and we have to maintain, you know, I signed a lease and everything, so we have to, so now, you know, I have to do more than just the theater company. So the theater company, again, this year we're full. We had max capacity, and which is really exciting. But
there was a lot of talk with the chamber also, because sometimes I'll go to the chamber breakfast, and there's just been a lot of support for what you're doing.
Yeah, it's been really positive, but I think people are also surprised because they didn't kind of see it coming in a way.
I'm going to agree to that, because it's such a small community. I mean, everybody thinks they know what's going on in Peekskill, you know, but Ridvan has just kind of been doing her thing and keeping her eyes on the paper, staying focused on her goals with, you know, with reaching out, noticing the needs of the community without really getting distracted by other politics or movements at the time. But I have to tell you, after everybody goes, who are they? Then after we all
realize
explain,
that your name's all over the place.
After we all explain, then they're so happy to hear that there's and they want to go check it out. It's followed by immense curiosity, a lot of support, a lot of enthusiasm, because now everybody's just envisioning faster than we can publish web pages what this place can do. You know, we had a Lumapalooza there a month ago, the first Friday after school opened. So I'm a Girl Scout leader and a former Girl Scout leader of my daughter's troop, and we said, you know what, these girls' fascination with these new rainbow looms kind of just birthed itself somewhere after school break in June and before they've come back. And we thought, what a great way. We created this social night where it was share teaching. So all these girls came. It was over 50 girls showed up by, again, our own network from different school districts, not just troops, but bringing siblings and neighborhood friends. And they sat in circles all over, share teaching and mentoring, bringing out the best of what young girls really do. You know, making things with their hands is always, you know, my advocacy. And so that was just, there's all these signs that happen, right, in these moments that go, oh, this is going to be big. When we're going to need more space, you know.
Absolutely. What's it like being next to the Paramount? Because that's where you guys are located, right?
Yeah, I don't know yet. It's
too early to tell.
In relation to the Paramount, I don't know. But where it is, it's a great location. There's parking right across, right there. So that's really convenient for people. And of course, there's the coffee house across, so parents can drop kids and go to. And there's also Bean Runner right there. So the location is really perfect. I was looking for a space in Peekskill. I didn't want, because there, you know, I had looked at places a little bit out of town, but I wanted it to be downtown, because I'm hoping that as we develop and as we grow and provide programs and do more outreach, you know, children can walk there. You know, neighborhood children can just walk to. So I wanted it to be central. I wanted to be the downtown area. So that was challenging, finding a space in the downtown area. But
you would think, I don't know, it's just so many empty buildings that are popping up and so many things that are for sale. But I know, like everything else, you know, it has to be the right price
I was
and
also
the right
picky.
energy.
Yeah, I was picky because as an occupational therapist, I wanted something on the ground floor, so that, because I have visions of kids doing stuff with kids who have disabilities, so I needed it to be wheelchair accessible. So that was something, and I would have, you know, I was looking for a place where there was light, where there were windows, and it's not easy to find because a lot of the buildings are right next to each other. So, and I wanted it to be in the downtown area. So there are lots of spaces upstairs where there are spaces
like artist
on the
lofts
second,
and stuff,
but there's no elevator or access for people who don't, you know, who can't, you know. And also I was thinking of older adults. If we have a program for older adults, it
that was
needs
really
to
good
be,
thinking on your part.
Yeah, it needs to be accessible. So it was a lot of factors, and yeah. So those were what I was looking for.
So they're calling your space, I guess, besides Next, is that the short version?
Yeah, you know, we love acronyms. It's like,
But you're at the Paramount East is basically the building you're in. So was that
East.
floor and everything I saw there when you moved in?
No, we did the floor, we redid the floors, we painted the walls, and I did the Indiegogo campaign to raise money to do some renovations, because I had wanted to actually put a little kitchenette, but that's, you know, we've put that off till later.
Right, it's always been there, right next to the mural, I
yeah,
guess. And I was
yeah.
like, well, I never knew I was able to go in there. I'm not sure what was
Yeah.
there
Great
before,
mural.
you know?
Yeah, I think we've used it before as one of, through the city, we've used that space before, so I knew it was there, but I didn't know it was up for rent for the longest time. And so we, one of our parents, one of the Children's Theater parents is a realtor, Anne Marie, and she was helping me look for space. So we looked at many different spaces, and I was being very picky about the space that I wanted. And when she showed me that, it was a little above our budget, but I thought,
Speaking of money, we have a fundraiser coming up for you at the Paramount.
yes.
So tell me how you organize that and who's going to be performing. I think it's Mike Longo.
Yes, Mike Longo. He is a jazz musician. He was a music director
Maybe that's a personal friend.
and pianist of Dizzy Gillespie for many years. He traveled with and played with Dizzy Gillespie when he was alive, and he's a good friend of our family. So when I started this Indiegogo project, I approached him about doing a concert here, and in Peekskill. So he agreed, and he agreed to bring his big band. So it's going to be a 17-piece jazz band.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
With a vocalist. So it's really a big deal, you know, for us.
Yes, and our children are going to get to sing with the
finale.
in the finale. So we're very
So
excited
you
about
bring
that.
all these elements in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to be an awesome show. Hopefully, there'll be a really good response to it. It's
Yes,
at a nice time of year. And I think the Paramount's been looking to have something like that.
Yeah.
I think of all the shows, not to pick on their programming, but I think this was, something that the town really needed to see.
I
Yeah,
think it's really important for their new season. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The tone.
It's perfect.
and we're Peekskill is such an artist like town, and we have so many. Ray Blue and the youth ensemble are going to play too.
The Pro-Am ensemble,
The Pro-Am, yes.
Yeah, I had those guys here. They're really awesome.
Yeah, they are.
Just so dedicated and so professional. Really, you wouldn't know that
really-
you were dealing with like a high schooler.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So they are going to be playing also as guest performers. And then our children's theater, Mike Longo wrote a song, which our children are learning in 2 weeks because we just started. And they're going to sing it as the finale song. So it's going to be a pretty exciting evening, October 26th, Saturday
At what time?
at 7 p.m.
Okay, so the tickets available through the Paramount, or should they
Yes.
contact you guys? Okay.
No, tickets are available online through the Paramount, or if people are in town, they can, I think they open in the afternoons on Wednesday through Sunday, I believe. So people can go in there, also walk in and buy tickets.
Okay, and this is for, I guess, more renovations or just your programming to
yeah,
offer
for
scholarships?
programming, for scholarships mostly. We want to be able to provide programs at affordable rates and we are planning to, no matter what, provide programs that are just free to the community. So
Right.
Any support we can get financially.
Yeah, that's
So-
such a fine line. You want to offer something that's really great, and you're like, well, how am I going to do this? Taking care of my overhead and getting the people to come.
Exactly.
So I've been there, done that with
So
it.
it's like it's
Yeah.
a total juggling, balancing act, and we do have a fiscal sponsor, Fractured Atlas.
Oh, I've heard about these guys.
Yeah,
I actually
so-
looked them up just recently.
Yeah, it's a great
Small world.
It's a great organization. So
I
they
heard
are.
about them through Mary Crescenzo, actually.
Yeah, because I think she's a member too. So New Era Creative Space is a member of Fractured Atlas, and so they offer the fiscal sponsorship, 501(c)(3) tax deductible, so people can actually donate to New Era Creative Space through Fractured Atlas.
That is terrific. This has been like a lot of information, and there's so much going on with you guys that sometimes it's hard to kind of figure most things out, or just see where you might, what programs you want to, look into. So if you had to just give, I guess, 3 things for somebody, like little soundbite for them to take away about what's happening right now and what they should be, taking a close look at, what would it be?
Wow, 3 things. That we are a center and we're here for the community. We want to promote creative programs. We want to really try and organically build this center into, I don't know what it's going to look like in the future. I have a vision, but, life is what happens while you're busy making plans, right?
Exactly.
So we're going to let it grow organically and slowly and see where it leads us.
And you're actually looking for people to come and teach programs there as well, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And, well, we kind of are running out of time, so we want to remind everyone about this concert that's coming up on October 26th. Definitely go there. You can find Ridvan probably hanging out in the space on any given evening, so you can go and talk to her as well. And there was something else I wanted to ask you about. I guess for the holidays, you had something besides the fundraiser that you had on your website. I can't think of it right now.
For the holidays, the coming in December, we haven't thought that far, but we were actually trying to have on Veterans Day, which is November 11th. We're trying to have a day where because people are always looking for places to drop off their children or have their children be during the holidays. So we're planning a day, like an open gym kind of day, or open studio, I should say, where we'll have a lot of different programs, different things going on, like they can do art, they can do
and
music.
that's in real response to what the community needs. The working parents here need a place to follow the school calendar and to anticipate it and to count on. And I think that's something that's always in Ridvan's mind when we're talking about workshops and boutique shops at work camps. I mean, people are ready.
Yeah, for the cost of a babysitter, you can have your child do
something more
cartooning,
with 30
they
other
can
kids
do
and have a great day.
singing, storytelling. So we'll have like different things going on throughout the day.
Throughout the day. Right. There's also the Halloween party next after the concert.
Oh yes, we're having a Halloween party after the concert.
Well, thank you. Well, if they want to find out more information, they should go to www.nextspace.com.
Yes.
And call you personally. We're going to give your phone number out too.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Well, on behalf of the community and all of us, thank you. You guys are doing an awesome
Thank
job.
you.
I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
And for the living arts community, we want you guys to tune in to everything that's happening here in the area. Definitely go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like us on Facebook, and just keep tuning in. We have some great stuff planned over the next couple of months. So thank you, and we will speak to you soon. Peace.